So tell me why I got a whole addition to my mental health diagnosis today. I was re-diagnosed with bipolar 2 in 2020. So just today, my therapist gave me a new addition to my mental health diagnosis: avoidant personality disorder. When I heard this, I was not happy. You telling me that I have a personality disorder? What is that? Some traits of avoidant personality disorder include fear of rejection. People with avoidant personality disorder have a strong fear of rejection and criticism, which can lead them to isolate themselves from others. Yes, I do that. I've always isolated myself from others, and I mean, yes, fear of rejection. It's like actually a huge issue with me. It was a huge issue in my marriage. It was a huge issue with me growing up, even to this very day. I can't hold you. Low self-esteem. People with avoidant personality disorder may have a low self-esteem and feel inadequate or inferior. Here's my thing. I didn't feel that way until I was raised in an environment where that's how I was made to feel. I don't feel like I came in this world like that. Social anxiety. People with avoidant personality disorder may experience extreme anxiety and fear in social situations. They may be reluctant to speak up in groups or give presentations. I feel like a wild animal when I'm in social situations. When I move out of the city, I'm never coming back. I feel most safe and comfortable around my kids or in the middle of the woods by myself. Even though you're not by yourself when you're in the woods, but completely in the middle of the woods, around nature, around animals, that's it. I don't feel safe around people, especially men. And even talking about it right now, my nerves and my body feel inflamed. Hesitancy to form relationships. People with avoidant personality disorder may be hesitant to form new relationships or get involved with others unless they are certain they will be liked. It's not even about being liked for me. I feel like I'm actually not I'm in spiritual danger, in physical danger, if I were to try to get into a relationship. Literally every relationship I've had in my entire life was toxic, and they were doing something untoward to me. So at this point, yeah, like I don't think about sex. I don't think about having relationships. I don't see that for me. My husband was it, and I didn't even know where the hell he came from. I didn't even want to get married and have kids. I don't even know how that happened. But yes, I completely avoid relationships. Don't think about it. Don't need it. When I got locked up as a juvenile over weed, okay, I was in the Waxter's Boys Center, BV, I think they call it. So I was there, and I was in solitary for getting into. I would get attacked. Like, I didn't start the fight. Whatever, got into a fight and got put in solitary. I didn't care. I was in there with my book and my juice, and I didn't give a damn if I was sleeping, working out, praying, or reading. I did not care. And I hear about so many people like going mad in solitary, and I never understood that. Apparently, it's not the world. There's something wrong with it. Something wrong with me. I don't feel like it's something wrong with me. Well, sometimes I feel like it's something wrong with me. But it's like, if that's how you're born, what do you do? Restraint in intimate relationships. People with avoidant personality disorder may show restraint in intimate relationships due to a fear of being ridiculed or shamed. Oh my God, this was such an issue in my marriage. My husband was such a touch me all the time, be all over me, hang on me Libra. And I was just like, I don't want to be touched. I wasn't very like freaky. I'm kind of like a prude, low-key. Now around the full moon, I get a little randy. But normally I don't know. Sex scenes skeeve me out. I don't know. For me to be such a sexual person at times, I'm like totally not. That doesn't make sense. Reluctance to take risks. People with avoidant personality disorder may be reluctant to take personal risks or participate in new activities. I feel this the most with like traveling. And even sometimes trying new foods or even smelling things. First of all, I have allergies. I'm not smelling that. Roger tried to get me to smell something the other day. I was like, because I'm not trying to have to take an antihistamine. And then it's like trying new foods. I have food sensitivities. It's like, I can't do it. My stomach's going to bloat. I might throw up. I get a headache. Like, I have to be careful. And it's like traveling. Oh my God, the bacteria, the people, everybody's coughing in the air. I don't want to get sick. Like, exaggerating dangers. People with avoidant personality may exaggerate the dangers of new activities to explain their avoidance. Okay, yes, I just did that, but I don't feel like I'm exaggerating. These are all very, very logical things to be wary of when you're doing new things. Avoidant personality is a chronic condition that can be managed by a medical professional. Talk therapy is the main treatment, and some symptoms may be helped by drugs, including antidepressants. No, ma'am. My antidepressants are sunlight, exercise, creative expression, and planting stuff. Oh, and foods, like purposefully eating foods like fresh vegetables and fresh fruits. Those are my antidepressants. I cannot risk falling back into drug addiction, popping pills for my sadness. I do believe that there are places for medication, there are times for medication. For me, I can't do it. There's too much at risk. So I told my therapist, I was like, listen, because this I was telling her I don't understand how it is that I get so exhausted doing normal stuff. Even thinking exhausts me. Being in conversations exhausts me. Opening the mail, answering a knocked door, answering the phone. These are all things that stress me out and send me almost into a manic episode. Couldn't understand that. Couldn't understand why I'm so passionate about writing music. I'm so passionate about writing, period. Why is it that when it comes to my own projects, I cannot get them done? I don't understand it. And low key, she's been taking notes on me this whole year and a half, coming up with this diagnosis, and she just hit me with it today. I'm just like, it's hard for my brain to accept what she's saying to me, because on some subconscious level I feel like this is just like laziness or something. But I really needed some time to sit with, what are the traits. And I'm like, why is this a disorder? If it's a personality, then why is it a disorder? Well, because it disorders your life and it makes it difficult for you to function in society. So from that perspective, I guess it's a disorder. But I just feel like it's just my personality. And I mean, I don't, I feel like so much of this was like circumstantial and environmental. I feel like if I was raised in a different environment, I would not be like this. I feel like if I would not have experienced the trauma I experienced at such an early age and then continuously and then gotten no help for it, I wouldn't be like this. I am such a spiritual person, and I'm so close to spirit, and I keep my ancestors and nature so close to me. It's very hard for me to listen to anything that Western medicine says. I'm sorry. Like, I get what they're saying. I feel like these are just traits, but I don't feel like it's a disorder. But I understand that because it's disordering my life or whatever. But it's like, then, if you just work around it, is it really disordered? Because these traits only cause my life to be disordered when I'm around other people. When I control my environment, I'm fine. But then from the outlook of a professional that's like, can you function in society? Can you go to school? Can you go to work? Can you go to a freaking appointment without canceling it? Can you be in a social space? Can you? And then you're like, no. They're like, disorder. So now I'm bipolar and have an avoidant personality disorder. Great. Lovely. But then, of course, she reframes it like she always does into something positive. I said she is an expert at turning shit into something sweet. And she said, now that we know that this is what we're working with, now we can start to come up with a plan to navigate it. Now, see, I like that. I like coming up with a plan and finding a solution. That's my jam all day long. She said, it's just like when you got your bipolar 2 diagnosis. Before then, you thought you were just crazy. But now you know exactly what your behaviors are, what they mean, where they come from, and how to manage it. It's taken us since 2022 to do that. But I just now started regulating my life that completely revolves around being bipolar. My entire life revolves around being bipolar. All of it. Everything from me having to have a morning routine and an afternoon routine and an evening routine, and I have to communicate a certain way, and I just have to have all of these buffers for my sensitivities and my triggers. It's just like a constant management. Like, I have special needs and I'm my own case manager. It's also exhausting, but it's exciting because I see myself growing and healing. And part of growing and healing is acceptance. And I did not want to accept this, but I'm going to. I'm not going to say I fully believe it, but I'm going to roll with it. Okay? I'm kind of old school when it comes to some of this psychology stuff. I just look at everything through a spiritual lens. And, I'm taking this Western medicine advice counsel with a grain of salt and understanding that I'm just doing this for disability. Because in real life, like I said, I understand that everything has a deeper spiritual meaning, okay? And there's some wounds I need to heal. I'm going to do that. And I honestly feel like if I do the work and stay consistent, in a few years, I won't have these issues, social anxiety. I'm not going to be anybody around anyone to have social anxiety. And then when I am around people, they're very selective groups, so I won't have that anymore. Hesitancy to form relationships. I don't feel like I'll have that because then I'll be a more evolved, healed version of myself, and I will only attract that which what I am. Reluctance to take risks. I believe that my reluctance to take risks has more to do with me protecting my children than me. When I am in a financially independent situation to where I know that I can take risks and our money won't be affected and my body won't be affected, and even if my body is affected, they're okay. They can take care of themselves if something were to happen to me. I won't be worried about taking risks. Exaggerating dangers. I don't Okay, maybe from the lens of someone else I exaggerate dangers, but I don't, from what I've seen and what I know what I know, and I don't feel like I'm exaggerating anything at all. Thank you so much for spending time with me here in Fury World. If you would like to check out my music, it's available under my artist name, The Fury of Abyss, on all music streaming platforms worldwide. I appreciate you hanging out with me this evening. At first, I was not happy about finding out that I had an avoidant personality disorder. Disorder. I don't like that. I don't like being labeled as there's something wrong with me. But I'm just going to deal with this like someone told me that I have like allergies or something, or like cancer of the soul, because that's what it's given. I know that we can push past this. I know that I can, well, not so much push past it, but I can accept it, and I can start to learn how to manage it. I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.